വത്തിക്കാനിൽ നടക്കുന്ന കത്തോലിക്ക സഭയുടെ ആഗോള സിനഡിൽ സദേൺ നോർത്തേൺ അറേബ്യൻ വികാരിയത്തുകളുടെ റിപ്പോർട്ട് അവതരിപ്പിച്ച് ശ്രദ്ധേയനായി ദുബായിൽ ജോലി ചെയ്യുന്ന മലയാളിയായ മാത്യു തോമസ്. സിനഡിന്റെ ആദ്യ ദിനത്തിലാണ് ചങ്ങനാശ്ശേരി അതിരൂപതയിലെ ചെത്തിപ്പുഴ ഇടവകാംഗമായ മാത്യു തോമസ് റിപ്പോർട്ട് അവതരിപ്പിച്ച് ഭാരതസഭയ്ക്ക് അഭിമാനമായി കയ്യടി നേടിയത്. സദേൺ നോർത്തേൺ അറേബ്യൻ വികാരിയത്തുകളെ പ്രതിനിധീകരിച്ചാണ് സിനഡിൽ അംഗമായത്. ആഗോള സിനഡിന് മുന്നൊരുക്കമായി നടന്ന കോണ്ടിനെന്റൽ സിനഡിലും മാത്യു തോമസ് പങ്കെടുത്തിരുന്നു. 15 വർഷമായി ദുബായിലെ കമ്പനിയിൽ HR മാനേജറായി ജോലി ചെയ്യുന്ന മാത്യു തോമസ് ലോകത്തിലെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ ഇടവകയായ ദുബായ് സെന്റ് മേരീസ് പാരിഷ് കൗൺസിലിന്റെ വൈസ് പ്രസിഡന്റായിരുന്നു. 30 വർഷമായി ജീസസ് യൂത്തിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന ഇദ്ദേഹം ജീസസ് യൂത്ത് മിഡിൽ ഈസ്റ്റ് ആനിമേറ്ററാണ്.
Grazie Eminenza. La seconda testimonianza sul cammino sinodale da Signor Thomas Matthew, proveniente dagli Emirati Arabi Uniti.
Your Holiness, I am Matthew Thomas, representing the migrant church in the Arabian Gulf. I am happy to share the beautiful and fruitful synodal experience we had in our vicariates. The apostolic vicariates of Southern Arabia and Northern Arabia spread across the 7 countries of the Arabian Gulf. Our synodal journey began with the inaugural Mass and the formation of the Synod coordination team at the vicariate level and at the parish level. The first task was to spread the message of the Synod. It was communicated to all the faithful through the pastoral letter and video message of Bishop sent to all the parishes. It was also communicated to all the registered members through email and other social media posts. Posters were put up in the church compound. Synod prayer cards were printed and distributed, and the faithful were encouraged to recite the prayer as part of their family prayer. The Synod prayers were very much part of the daily Holy Masses. Since our faithful are made up of over 100 nationalities, the questions for reflection were translated into different languages. Seminars and training to create awareness about and to highlight the process of the Synod were organized in the parishes. We had 35 such training sessions for the leaders from various communities and prayer groups. It was a challenge to coordinate these activities during COVID times, but with a tremendous support from the church leadership and committed volunteers, we could reach out to the maximum number of people. As a result, we could have 150,000 people directly participating in the Synod, sharing their dreams, hopes, frustrations, and suggestions. All the communities, various youth groups, ministries, and sodalities actively participated in the Synod. Special mention must be made of the participation of the tiny Catholic community still practicing their faith in the war-torn country of Yemen, which is part of our vicariate. Perhaps one of the most powerful responses came from the children and teenagers. We have around 50,000 children and teenagers attending our catechism program in the 2 vicariates. And out of this, around 20,000 from grade 6 and above participated in the synod. 2 catechism classes were exclusively kept for the synod, and 2 separate synods were held for the teenagers. Responses from the teenagers were enthusiastic. The teenagers are more aware about the happenings in the church, and many of them shared their dreams to see a new face of the church, more loved and respected in the world. Special efforts were made to reach out to the voiceless. A major part of the migrants in the Gulf region are construction workers living in labor camps, working 10 to 12 hours a day for 6 days a week. The outreach ministry of the Jesus Youth Movement was entrusted with the task of reaching out to the people in the labor camps, the fisher folk, and the people who had left the Catholic faith. Hundreds of youth volunteers went around the camps to meet our people. As it was not allowed to gather the people together in the camps, the volunteers met them one by one, and the people were happy that the church took the initiative to listen to them. The Samaritan ministry, the charity wing of the church, was given the task to reach out to the housemaids and some of the people who were released from the jail. And we were able to meet around 80 of them and get their feedback. The listening process of the synod was also a healing process for many. I would like to share a beautiful experience that we had while visiting the Fisher Folk community in one of the Emirates. The youth volunteers visited them, but they were not getting any cooperation from them in the beginning because they had been away from all the church activities for almost 3 years due to some bad experience they had earlier related to the transportation arrangements we make to bring them to the church. But these young volunteers visited the community again and again, and finally they sat together and shared their feelings and opinions, and as a result, now they are back in the church. We have gone through all the stages of the synod. Besides the initial parish level synod meetings, we were also be able to reflect on and to get feedback from parishes based on the documents provided for the Continental Synod, and finally based on Instrumentum Laboris. We have also taken steps to make corrections and improvements based on the suggestions given by the faithful during the parish synod. Holy Father, I would like to conclude by saying that the people are genuinely happy to have been part of this synodal process and for the opportunity they got to open their hearts freely and fearlessly. I feel we are beginning to see a new phase of the church. Thank you.